It's time, my little teeny tiny Sephora VIB sale haul. I did not get that much, but the products that I did get, you talked me into. I mentioned these in my wish list when I did my original Sephora VIB sale video, and I had so many comments suggesting that I get these, so I went for it. Let's jump in. So not only is this a teeny tiny haul because I didn't get too many things, it's a teeny tiny haul because I bought a bunch of minis. You know me. So first of all, we have to talk about this. I knew that I was going to get this from the second it landed on the Sephora website. This is a mini of the Rare Beauty blush. So right now, this is the first time they've sold a mini individually. Like they've had the minis in the past, but they were only available in a set. So you had to get like a bunch of others. They do also have a set on the Sephora site right now, but this one little mini is $14 compared to the full size at $22. No, $23. And I wanted to compare it to the full size just so you can see the difference. It looks so little teeny tiny, but the thing about the Rare Beauty blushes is that they are the most pigmented formula on the market. So even in this small little container, I'm going to assume that this will last me pretty much through the rest of my life. So I'm not too worried. I'm like waiting for the day that they start offering other shades, because right now the only shade that they have individually in the minis is the shade Hope, which is obviously the one that I picked up. But Hope is one of the lightest shades that they offer, so I just don't know that this will work for everyone. I think the fact that this formulation is so highly pigmented will allow it to have a lot more range in who it will work for, but I hope they start offering more shades as minis soon individually also. Does that make sense? Now, I also want to go ahead and swatch out the shade Bliss, which is the original one I have, which is the actual lightest shade that they offer, next to Hope. Just for reference, you can see the difference in shades, especially if you have fair skin. Bliss is like my top recommendation. I talk about this all the time, but Hope is actually so similar. Almost to the point that maybe I didn't need both of them, but that's okay. I'm excited to have both. Hope is just slightly deeper, and I would say that Bliss is a little bit more neutral, whereas there's a little bit more pink in the shade Hope, but very excited to have this. I knew I would be picking this one up. Another one I knew I would be picking up, I talked about this in the wish list video, Soldi Janeiro number 68. So this is the pink. Before this, I had number 40, which I bought a few months back. Number 40 is my favorite, and let me tell you right now, tell me why I'm already kind of regretting getting 68. I went into stores to smell this. I loved the scent in stores. That's why it had been on my wish list for a while. Like I said, I originally bought 40, but I still kept thinking about 68. I was like, I really need to get 68. So now that I have it, I'm like, this is identical to Cloud. Like I've heard some people say they think it smells kind of different, smells a bit fruitier. I don't know why in stores when I would smell it, I was like, oh no, this is kind of different. I don't think this is a Cloud dupe. But now that I have it, like I just get straight Cloud with this, like once it sits on my skin. So there's a part of me that's like, Kelly, you did not need this. You already have Cloud. Not only do I have Cloud, but I have a Cloud mini, and then I have another one from Dime that also is pretty similar to Cloud. So I'm pretty covered in that scent family. So maybe I did not need to get this, but that's okay. That's okay. It had been on my wish list for a while. I was thinking about it for a long time. Funny enough, I was in Sephora today picking up an order, and I didn't know that there was an orange bottle. Am I losing it? Has that one always been there? Maybe it's because the orange looks so similar to the yellow. I have seen it and thought it was the same one, but I was standing there in the store. I was like, wait, I've never smelled this one, and it smells delicious. I think I might have liked it more than that pink one. I'll put the notes for the orange one on the screen. It is definitely a very gourmand. They say it has caramelized vanilla, toasted macadamia, so like hyper sweet, but like not too heavy. Where have I been that I didn't even know they had that one? Okay, another mini perfume actually. Also, the Soldi Janeiro one, it looks giant. This is still a large bottle, but this is actually the mini, or at least the smaller size. This is 3 ounces. They also sell an 8-ounce bottle of this. But this is the perfume I mentioned on my wish list. I said I was gonna pick this up. This is from Clean Reserve, and the scent is called Radiant Nectar. Now, I just picked up the smaller tube of this. I'm like, I don't need a full size. But I had a sample of this that I got as a point perk a while ago, and I have just been loving it so much. And I already had it on my wish list. I told you I was maybe going to pick it up. But then what sold me, the other day someone said to me, you smell so nice. And they said, you normally smell nice, but today you smell extra nice. And I was like, okay, well that just did it. Now I have to go get the full size because my mini is about gone. That was what I was wearing. and I just want to smell like this all the time. I love the pear note in this. It is very sweet, but not too heavy. I think it would be like a perfect signature scent. I love that the mini is a spray and not a roller ball. Let me know if you're team rollerball or team spray. I really prefer spray because I also like to put my perfume on my clothes and in my hair a little bit, just because I find that those locations hold the scent a bit better. Whereas if I'm using a rollerball, it doesn't always want to last all day because it fades a lot faster on the skin. But I'm so excited to have this. I've been more into like a mini lately when it comes to perfumes, especially because this is easy to put in my purse. I really like taking a perfume in my purse, and don't get me wrong, I have brought full-size perfumes in my purse before, but it's really not ideal. I think this is like the better situation, obviously. Okay, maybe the only non-mini to talk about is this. So I'm back on my blonde game. As you know, I went a little bit lighter with my hair recently. Okay, though, you know what? The thing about having fake blonde hair, it is just never blonde enough. I feel like the day that I dye it, I'm like, oh, it looks so bright and blonde. And then 2 days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair is like dark brown. And it's not, but in my head, I'm just never blonde enough. Like, that's the problem with blonde hair. But being a fake blonde, as you know, if you are one, is a lot of work. So I'm back on the blonde game. I had to pick up a purple mask. So this is from Verb. I haven't tried this one before, but I was really intrigued based on one specific photo on the Sephora website of the before and after, and I'm going to pop it on the screen. This was like the most dramatic transformation I've seen from a leave-in mask like this, because in general, these type of like in the shower hair masks or even purple shampoos make a pretty minimal difference. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great for maintenance in between, but if you want to do some significant toning, you have to actually tone it versus using like a leave-on product like this. But that photo, I was like, wait, that was pretty intense. However, I think they're kind of sneaky with it. If you look up close, the lighting conditions between the two photos are vastly different. Like the original photo where her hair is looking super brassy has a really warm light shining on her. You can even kind of see it reflected on the skin. And I feel like they opted for different lighting conditions in the second photo, which leads to this like dramatic before and after. And I don't know. And I actually tried this last night. I noticed a minor difference, but it's like a small enough difference. I wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't looking for it. Like, no one would look at me and be like, oh my gosh, your hair is way less yellow than yesterday. Like, no, you would not know unless I gave you like a side by side and you studied the photos for so long and you're like, oh, just a tiny bit different. And that was even after leaving this on beyond the recommended time. They say 5 to 7 minutes. I think I had it in for about 20. So I'll let you know. My hair's not like the lightest blonde to see the difference from this, but so far, I was maybe a little bit underwhelmed by that one. The one I used to really love back when my hair was much blonder was the one from Kendra. It is a super like deep violet, and I felt like that one I would notice a pretty noticeable difference, but I enjoyed that one. Okay, I am the last to the party on this, and I always laugh when I'm mentioning the Sephora birthday gifts because my birthday is at the end of the year, and you're all like, girl, I know. I already picked mine up, but I am a November baby, so I just got my little birthday gift. And I picked out the Patrick Ta. So in this, you have a lip gloss and then the brow gel. The lip gloss is like super sparkly glowy, which isn't always my preference. I don't always like a super sparkle type of look on my lip, but I'm wondering how it will actually apply on the lip. We'll see. I think this is cute. I always love a mini. Like I said, it's a teeny tiny haul, you know, teeny tiny products, little baby minis. But there's also the brow gel. And I've heard pretty good things about this brow gel. I don't always like my brows to be in more of that soap brow finish, which I know is really popular for Patrick Ta when he's doing makeup on his clients. And I know his products are kind of aimed to achieve that look. So I'm curious to see how I will like this based on my own eyebrow preferences and what type of hold I'm looking for. But I've actually never tried anything from Patrick Ta. That's why I picked out this gift, because I was like, is this the time? I think it's finally time that I try Patrick Ta. Okay, one more mini. This was just, I think a point perk, but I will always pick up travel-sized hair products like this or travel-sized skincare products when they're things that I already use. So this is the Moroccanoil Perfect Defense heat protectant. I've used this before. I love the scent of any Moroccanoil product, so I was very excited to see that this was an option. I don't use too much heat on my hair all the time, but whenever I do, I'm definitely making sure to use some form of a heat protectant. So definitely going to be using this. Will I shop any more in the Sephora sale? Maybe. We have a few days left. It is definitely not over. Actually, we're still only like in the very beginning. So are you shopping the Sephora sale? Let me know if you picked anything up. I hope you enjoyed my teeny tiny haul, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.